The Apple MacBook Pro M4, LG Gram 16 2024, Asus ProArt PX13, Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 13 AE, and Dell XPS 15 9530 are the most popular Ultrabooks of 2025. But which is the absolute best? We are going to compare them to each other and score them in various categories, with some categories holding more weight than others. In the end, we'll decide which is the best one based on the final score, and we will declare the absolute winner. Let's dive in. First, we are going to compare them on the performance category, which has a multiplier of 2x. The new MacBook Pro with the M4 chip feels incredibly powerful in day-to-day use, handling dozens of my apps and browser tabs without breaking a sweat. And while its single-core CPU performance is industry-leading and crushes older chips, I was surprised to see its multi-core score take a small step back from the M3 Pro, which means for really heavy video exports, it might not be the absolute fastest option here, earning it an 8.8 out of 10. Next up, the LG Gram 16 2024 is a strange one, because while it has a capable Intel Core Ultra 7 processor and a dedicated RTX 3050 graphics chip, I found its performance was really inconsistent, often stuttering in 4K streaming unless I cranked the fans up to a very loud high-performance mode, where it still struggled to outperform laptops that only have integrated graphics, which is why it gets a 6.5 out of 10. The Asus ProArt PX13, with its brand new AMD Ryzen AI 300 series chip, is an absolute beast for creative work, delivering the highest scores I have seen in Adobe Photoshop benchmarks and transcoding video faster than most of its rivals. And even though it is a compact convertible, it handled games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla smoothly on high settings, making it a true do-it-all powerhouse that scores a 9.5 out of 10. Moving on to a classic, the Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 13 is built for productivity with its new Intel Lunar Lake processor that kept things perfectly smooth even when I had over 50 browser tabs and a 4K video running at the same time. But its focus on efficiency means it has fewer cores and gives up some multi-core power to last year's model, making it less ideal for heavy rendering tasks and landing it a 7.9 out of 10. Finally, the Dell XPS 15 9530 is a solid workhorse that combines a still powerful Intel Core i7 processor with a beastly NVIDIA RTX 4070 graphics card and a blazingly fast solid-state drive that transferred 25 gigabytes of files at over 2,000 megabytes per second. Though its processor is a generation behind the others, which holds it back against the absolute newest chips in pure CPU tests, so I'm giving it an 8.2 out of 10. With impressive benchmark results in creative apps and strong gaming performance, the Asus ProArt PX13 takes the win in this category with its score of 9.5 because it provides the best all-around power for both work and play. Next, we are going to compare them on the battery life category, which has a multiplier of 2. The Apple MacBook Pro M4 is a marathon runner, easily lasting me through 2 full 8-hour workdays of mixed use on a single charge, and hitting an insane 22 hours in a video streaming test. Though I've noticed it can drain faster than expected during simple Netflix streaming, which keeps it from perfection, earning a 9.2 out of 10. When I took the LG Gram 16 2024 on the road, its performance was simply outstanding, consistently giving me over 15 hours of screen time for web browsing and writing articles without ever making me feel anxious about finding a power outlet. Although its build quality feels a bit less sturdy than the others, it gets a 9.5 out of 10. I found that the Asus ProArt PX13, while a powerhouse for creative tasks, is more of a sprinter than a long-distance runner, delivering a respectable 8 hours of real-world business use, but falling short of the 14 hours I saw in a looped video test, forcing me to keep the charger handy if I was working away from my desk for a full day, giving it a 7.0 out of 10. Using the Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 13 for my daily commute was a solid experience, as it consistently provided me with around 9 to 11 hours of real-world use, which is more than enough for a typical workday. However, it couldn't quite match the epic 18-hour runtime I saw in a dedicated YouTube streaming test, which shows there's a bit of a gap between light and heavy workloads, so it scores an 8.5 out of 10. Finally, the Dell XPS 15 9530 was a bit of a letdown in this category, as I could only squeeze about 6.5 hours out of it during a video playback test, and users have reported even lower real-world numbers around 2 to 4 hours, which is a far cry from what I'd expect at this level, and leaves it with a 5.5 out of 10. So the LG Gram 16 truly stands out with a score of 9.5 because it delivers incredible real-world longevity for everyday productivity tasks, making it the most dependable travel companion here. Next, we are going to compare them on the display quality category, which has a multiplier of 1.5. The Apple MacBook Pro M4 is a marvel for working in bright spaces thanks to its optional nano-texture screen that demolishes glare. And while its color accuracy is superb and motion looks incredibly smooth, you won't get the same level of color saturation you might find on some competing OLED panels, earning it a 9.3 out of 10. With the LG Gram 16, you are getting a gorgeous and vibrant OLED panel that makes colors feel incredibly lively. But the glossy finish is frustratingly reflective, and I even ran into a strange software issue that gave some images a yellow tint, which is why I'm giving it a 7.4 out of 10. I found the Asus ProArt PX13 has a truly standout OLED display with incredible contrast and rich, saturated colors that are a joy to look at. Though it's held back by a 60 Hz refresh rate, which feels like a missed opportunity on a laptop built for creators, resulting in a score of 8.2 out of 10. The Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 13 is simply a dream to use, featuring a nearly perfect 120Hz OLED panel that gives you those inky blacks and eye-popping colors without the annoying reflections thanks to a special coating. Though I have seen some older models look a bit grainy, but this one is a solid 9.6 out of 10. Finally, the Dell XPS 15 offers a beautiful high-resolution OLED touchscreen where the deep blacks make everything else just pop. But its brightness doesn't quite match up to the MacBook Pro, and it's also stuck with a 60 Hz refresh rate, landing it an 8.5 out of 10. Ultimately, the Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 13 takes the win with 9.6 points, as its anti-glare OLED display is the best of both worlds, offering stunning visuals without the distracting reflections. Next, we are going to compare them on the portability and build quality category, which has a multiplier of 1.5. Starting with the Apple MacBook Pro M4, you immediately feel its premium recycled aluminum build, which is incredibly solid, with a perfectly stiff hinge, but at 1.6 kilograms, it has a certain density that makes it feel noticeably less portable than some of the true featherweights in this lineup, earning it an 8.2 out of 10. The LG Gram 16 is a strange one because it is so impressively light for a 16-inch laptop that you barely feel it in your bag. However, that ultra-light magnesium alloy chassis comes with a lot of noticeable flex in the keyboard deck and lid that just does not inspire confidence, despite its military-grade durability rating, which is why I am giving it a 7.5 out of 10. I found the Asus ProArt PX13 to be a fantastic travel companion, with its tough, military-standard rated aluminum build that feels robust and ready for the road. Although its versatile convertible design does add a little extra bulk compared to a traditional clamshell, and the sleek black finish is an absolute magnet for fingerprints, landing it a 9.0 out of 10. Picking up the Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 13 is a truly surprising experience, because at under 1 kilogram, it feels almost impossibly light. Yet its carbon fiber and magnesium alloy construction is so rigid and durable that it feels like the most dependable and road-ready machine of the bunch, easily scoring a 9.5 out of 10. Finally, the Dell XPS 15 has that signature attractive aluminum and carbon fiber body that feels wonderful in the hands, but it is without a doubt the least portable laptop here, feeling significantly heavier and more cumbersome to carry around than the others, which is why in this specific comparison, it gets a 6.8 out of 10. The Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 13 is the clear winner here, earning a 9.5 out of 10 for its masterful combination of an incredibly lightweight design and a famously durable chassis. Finally, we are going to compare them on the value for money category, which has a multiplier of 3x. The Apple MacBook Pro M4 is an incredibly powerful machine, and I found the HDMI port very useful for presentations, but it's expensive for a laptop, and you might find you don't even use all of its capabilities, which makes it a questionable value proposition for many. I give it a 6.8 out of 10. I was amazed by the LG Gram 16, which is so thin and light for a 16-inch laptop with a battery that lasts over 15 hours of light use. But the build quality on the unit I tested was a major letdown, with a warped screen, feeling far less sturdy than you would want for a portable device. This one gets an 8.2 out of 10. For me, the Asus ProArt PX13 offers a fantastic mix of portability and raw power, with its convertible design and capable NVIDIA RTX 4050 GPU. However, the fan noise can get quite loud under load, and the battery life for heavy editing is only around 2 hours, which holds it back. I am rating it a 7.5 out of 10. The Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 13 is exceptionally lightweight and has that best-in-class keyboard I love, but the value proposition really suffers because the upgrades are very pricey, and I found the 1080p webcam to be a huge disappointment given what this machine costs. It earns a 7.1 out of 10. Finally, the Dell XPS 15 is a beautiful laptop that mixes premium materials with a powerful platform, making it a fantastic machine for content creators that truly feels like a worthy competitor to Apple's best offerings and a solid investment. It gets a 9.3 out of 10. With a score of 9.3 out of 10, the Dell XPS 15 takes the win by delivering a premium and powerful creator-focused experience that truly justifies its cost. The results of our comparison show each product shines in its own way, but the Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 13 AE stands out with its score of 82.75. From my experience, this Ultrabook combines remarkable portability with outstanding build quality and a delightful display, making it an excellent choice for professionals and creatives alike. Its lightweight design and sturdy construction have consistently impressed me, making it not just a laptop, but a trusty companion that handles whatever tasks I throw its way with finesse. As for the other contenders, the Apple MacBook Pro M4 closely follows with a score of 82.65 and remains a powerhouse for those who need top-tier performance, though its premium price might not suit everyone. The Asus ProArt PX13 impresses with its creative prowess, scoring 81.3 and offering great value for power users. Despite not topping the list, the Dell XPS 15, 78.25, provides an efficient experience for creators, and the LG Gram 16, 78.95, stands out for its incredible battery life and portability, albeit with some build quality compromises. Each of these laptops has impressed me in unique ways tailored to different user needs.